Alright, welcome back. Now, over the past few seasons, we know Liverpool have been a very dominant team, apart from this season. So, for this episode, I'll be taking a look at the 2016 Europa League Final 11 that Jurgen Klopp put out against Sevilla. Ultimately, they didn't win the cup final, they lost 3-1. Goalkeeper Mignolet, Club Brugge. Mignolet was a decent goalkeeper for Liverpool, but also having quite a lot of mistakes, not really being able to kind of keep it going in those bigger moments, bigger occasions, kind of just failing to guide Liverpool to multiple trophies, multiple leagues, which now they're starting to challenge. Well, they've won the Premier League last season and then more cup competition wins, so since replacing Mignolet with Alisson Becker has proved to be a blessing in disguise. Mignolet spends his time now at Club Brugge, constantly winning the Belgium First Division, I think it is called, multiple times, I think 3 or 4 times now since he went back. So he kind of don't need to worry about doing many wrongs now that he's actually winning trophies again. Right back, Nathaniel Clyne, Crystal Palace. Nathaniel Clyne now plays his trade at Crystal Palace after spending a few years at Liverpool. He was fairly consistent in the Liverpool 11 before unfortunately again, I think it was a knee injury which started to see his place drop before the emergence of Trent Alexander-Arnold, which ultimately spelt the end for Clyne at Liverpool. But during his time he was very consistent until those injuries happened, and then Nathaniel Clyne's career kind of took a tumble from there, jumping between clubs on Bournemouth on loan, I think it was last season, now at Crystal Palace this season. He started to get back into regular first team football, not heavily consistently though, but also as a footballer you want to be consistent. Right centre back, Dejan Lovern, Zenit. Dejan Lovern left, I think it was just in the summer of 2020, to go to Russia to play with Zenit St Petersburg, where they're challenging for the league, I think it is at the moment. But since he's went there, obviously winning trophies to challenge for and everything at the Russian club, I think ultimately, since his times at Liverpool, where I don't think they actually won a trophy, they actually did, there was a Champions League, I think just before they won the Premier League. I think he left just before, or maybe just after, I don't exactly know. Dejan was a bit of a bombshell for centre back, not really being too comfortable around Liverpool supporters when he's playing, as he's got that mistake in him. But now, applying his trade in Russia, which you don't really hear from that anymore. Left centre back, Kolo Toure, retired and now Leicester City first team coach. Kolo Toure is also now retired and now works with Brendan Rodgers at Leicester City as a first team coach. I don't know what his coaching role is, I didn't look that up. Kolo Toure, obviously, we all know, is probably more famous for the Kolo Toure and Yaya Toure chant than anything else. Kolo Toure has obviously won multiple Premier Leagues and multiple more domestic cups in England. He's won, I think, the treble up in Scotland, the SPL, the Scottish Cup and League Cup, before then retiring, before now ultimately being a first team coach at Celtic with Brendan Rodgers, before he was then ultimately, I think, a coach with Rodgers at Celtic once he retired, and then basically joining Rodgers at Leicester. Left back, Alberto Moreno, Villarreal. Alberto Moreno has recently left Liverpool, I think a season or two ago it was, in seek of fasting football, after the same with Nathaniel Clyne really. Injuries really plagued him, better players coming in, also hampering game time. Now he's playing constantly in Spain. We'll see how he goes with that. Hopefully he's going to be getting more game time. Right centre mid, James Milner, Liverpool. James Milner is the first Liverpool player that has started the club of this 11. Milner's still going strong, I think at 34, 35. With the consistency, not as much in this season, but that's just due to the fact that the squad's been out of form. He's been, I think, plagued with a bit of injuries, I don't really know. But he's still playing very well, still going very strong, and age where most players end up retiring. Left centre mid, Emre Can, Borussia Dortmund. Emre Can ultimately left Liverpool, I think, 2 seasons after the Europa League final defeat to join Juventus on a free transfer. Now, I think it was then just over a year after joining Juventus, he left to join Borussia Dortmund on an initial 6-month loan with the view to buy option, which Dortmund triggered, and now he's a permanent Borussia Dortmund player. Centre attacking mid, Roberto Firmino, Liverpool. Roberto Firmino is the second Liverpool player of this 11 that has started the club, along with James Milner. Firmino, obviously, I think he joined just in the summer of 2015 to then for his first full season at the club, making a Europa League final. Obviously they didn't win it, but he has went on to win what was now a very strong Premier League campaign. Obviously won the Premier League, Champions League, and that's really it of the club, as they failed to really do anything in domestic competitions. As Jurgen Klopp just basically fields out an absolute shite side in most of the games, just because he'd rather focus on the Premier League and the Champions League, which is fair enough. Right wing, Adam Lallana, Brighton. Adam Lallana, mostly a centre mid, but in this game played as a right wing / right mid, kind of just covering the team just to make sure the defensive ways ain't bad. Lallana obviously just recently left in the summer of 2020 to join Graham Potter's Brighton of Albion, where he's not got consistent minutes in the early stages, but I was trying for Graham to build up his own stamina to kind of just get back to it, get back to playing professional football after spending most of his time at the later stages of Liverpool out with injuries, which is fair enough. Right wing, no, left wing, my apologies. Philippe Coutinho, Barcelona. Philippe Coutinho left in January of 2019, 6 months prior to Liverpool winning the Champions League, which he also, I think he said he left to try and win the Champions League, which was quite bad that 6 months later they won it, Liverpool, after putting Barcelona out, after coming from 3-0 down away at the Nou Camp to win 4-0 at Anfield. Philippe Coutinho obviously has eventually won the Champions League. It wasn't with Barcelona, it was with Bayern Munich. Philippe Coutinho, very good player for Liverpool, very good player for Jurgen Klopp. Ultimately, some injuries obviously in the last 6 months to a year at Liverpool, and roughly the same time scale at Barcelona his first season. He's now playing more consistently at Barcelona since rejoining from Bayern Munich. Bayern did not take the chance to take the buy-out option to sign him permanently for I think it was €37.5 million, which fair enough, has proven that they didn't need him, as they've now won a 9th consecutive Bundesliga. Striker, Daniel Sturridge, free agent. Daniel Sturridge recently left, I think it was Trabzonspor in Turkey, now a free agent. Daniel Sturridge, during his time at Liverpool, the early stages, he was a very, very good striker, in and out game time, until it was then Roberto Firmino that came in to also replace him as the number 9. His injuries, obviously, as most of these players did, start occurring quite regularly, and not like, oh, he missed a game because of a sore hamstring. It was more like 3 or 4 months at a consistent rate, which, seeing him being replaced and seeing him out of the Liverpool 11. Obviously, Jurgen Klopp is still at Liverpool over 5 years on, still going strong. Obviously, earlier in the year of 2021, rumoured to leave the job to go and take up the position as German manager, as Joachim Löw is leaving after this summer's Euros, but it looks like Hans Flick of Bayern will be taking that after confirming his termination of his contract at the end of the season, for then Julian Nagelsmann to then take over. But with that, that's the end of the video. If you've liked it, subscribe to the channel, like the video, down below, feedback, video suggestions, just drop a comment. With that, hope you have had a good weekend. With that, I'll catch you on Wednesday for the SPL Roundup episode 3, so goodbye.